I got sent the script and went in for an audition. I'm very, unlike Kieran and Benedict, I just had to go in and audition along with Matthew Beard. I think he was actually directly in after me. So I just felt very passionate about the script, and I told Morton that, and thankfully he hired me to be part of it, because it's a very important story and one that isn't known and should be known a lot more than it is, and he's a man who should be celebrated and hasn't been. And that was always the goal that we set out to do, was to bring him more to the public's attention, but also the movie's a tribute to being different and a celebration of his life. Yeah, it's the fact that they believe that Turing realised the only way he was going to beat the Enigma machine was to build a bigger and better machine. And in doing that, he put into the foundations the very first digital computer. So we owe him so much, not only the fact that he brought a cessation to the war 2 years early, but also the fact that he's the forefather of the digital computer. And if you think of how much we rely on these machines that you're even holding here, we wouldn't have them without Alan Turing. So why don't we know his name more? And why isn't he celebrated? And something Benedict's spoken about, and I've spoken about, Matthew Good, why isn't he spoken about more in our history classes, you know? I think that the movie's about a man, his sexuality is actually the reason that he was persecuted. But in essence, it's actually what brought him down. I think it does deal with the fact that the movie deals about secrets, and Alan Turing had to keep his sexuality a secret throughout his life. And I think, for that reason, I think it deals with it in the way that Turing himself said that his time in Bletchley Park was a sexual desert. So we'd be doing him a misjustice if we portrayed it and it didn't happen. Yeah, again, I think some of that comes down to the effect that technology is having on our lives. More money's being thrown into TV, because also the quality is coming up and up and up, and you're coming to a point now that people are basically making 6 or 7 movies that turn into a miniseries, and the way people are consuming entertainment, that is a more accessible format. So I think it is in a golden age, and being part of a show like Downton as well that is there, and people are consuming in that way. And I think it's fascinating. This last year, the figures are all down in relation to people actually watching on TV, and they're all miles up in relation to tablets, phones and computers. So yeah, and even movies are being consumed in that way as well. So, but there's something very special about cinema, in going to cinema, so I don't know whether that'll ever fully lose out. Yeah, absolutely I would. And making sure that Irish cinema as well comes to the fore. I've been lucky enough, it's where I started my career, with Irish movies, and I'd love to go back and do one soon. There's some incredible stories that still have to be told, and I'm lucky enough to know a lot of these people who are trying to get them made. So hopefully you're right. Yeah, hopefully we'll see a lot more Irish stories. If my mother ever sees this and I don't say Ireland, I'm going to be killed. So I'm going to have to say Dublin. But right now, London is my home. You know, I've been there for 11 years, and it's where I work and where most of my business comes from. So, but home will always be Ireland. It'll always be on the south side of Dublin.